Hey everybody, this is DragonsPwn347 from Team Cannon Fodder. I just wanted to bring you guys my deck profile, my Rescue Rabbit deck profile. I've been meaning to upload this for a while, but I always end up changing the deck a little. Like I'm constantly tweaking the deck. So this is like actually the third time I've I recorded the deck. So yeah. But I think that right now, this is like the best version I've come up with. I really like the build that I've come up with so far. So, yeah, why don't I just get right into the build? So first we have our 3 Rescue Rabbits. Obviously, yeah, in case you don't know, Rescue Rabbit, what you do, you can banish the face-up card, especially summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck. So you bring out 2 level 4s or level 3s or whatever you want really, and then you can XYZ. That's the main point of Rescue Rabbit really. Then we have our 3 tour guides. I see a lot of people be like, with the new rulings, tour guide is useless. This piece of crap. No, it's not really. While the tour guide Sangan combo is now pretty much ineffective, yes, tour guide is still the best way to get any rank 3 XYZ out. So tour guide is yeah, it definitely lowered in price, and it's not as broke as before, but it's still pretty broken. So I have 3 of those. Then we have a Sangan. It's now obviously I won't exceed with it unless if I like have to or something. But Sangan is still really good in the deck because you can still set it face down, and it will search out basically almost any of the key cards in this deck, be it Tour Guide, Rescue Rabbit, the Spies that you're gonna see next, whatever, even Effect Veiler, Goblinberg. So Sangan is still really helpful in this deck. Then we have 3 Gravekeeper Spy. I like these a lot. Actually, this is like the most recent edit that I made, because the spies obviously get another spy out or the descendant, and then you can exceed. So yeah, 3 spies, 1 descendant, and then we have a Zephyros. There's the descendant Zephyros. Goblinberg, what he does, it's a common in Generation 4, so super easy to get. When it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 lower monster from your hand, then change this card to defense position. So I really like this card a lot because A, if you like dead draw the normal monsters that you want to keep in your deck for Rescue Rabbit's effect, you can just Goblinberg, then normal summon that or special summon that normal monster and then exceed. So your dead draws aren't really dead draws anymore. Also, what I really like is the I'm going to show you 2 XYZs later called number 16 Violent Sigma. They both require 3 level 4 monsters. Well, this deck pulls those out really easily. Goblinberg, special summon Rescue Rabbit from your hand with Goblinberg's effect. Use Rescue Rabbit's effect, then you have 3 level 4 monsters out on the field, and then you can XYZ for one of those monsters. I'll show you those XYZ monsters later. Then we have 1 Effect Veiler. That's just my personal preference, really. I just like to put Effect Veiler. Then we have our normal monsters. We have 2 Gene Warped Werewolves, just because they're 2000 beat sticks. And then we have our dinosaur types, Sabrosauruses and Capsulus, for that Evil Kaiser Lagia. Then we have 2 dualities, just to add consistency to the deck. 3 to be, I was running 3, but I found 3 to be a little OD, because the deck does special summon a lot. Pot of Evers, just to, for late game. Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, 3 MSTs, Monster Reborn, Book, Rhoda. Rhoda's pretty good in this deck because it allows you to search out Goblinberg, so I like Rhoda in here. Then the traps are just staples: Solemn Warning, Solemn Judgment, Mare Force, Torrential, and then 2 Dark Bribes, so just staples. Extra deck, Evil Kaiser Lagia, it's in Photon Shockwave, going to be Ultra and Ulti. What it does, it's basically Solemn Judgment, but actually it is Solemn Judgment. But instead of paying half your life points, you detach 2 XYZ materials. So, really good card, 2400 attack. And it requires 2 level 4 dinosaur type monsters, which is, like I said before, why I have the Sabrosauruses and the Capsulus. Next we have Leviair the Sea Dragon. This is already out in the TCG. It was Generation 4's Ultra Ulti. This is the card that you will be abusing most of the time in the tour guide. What it does is that 1800 attack. Once per turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card to target one banished level 4 or lower monster, special summon that target to your side of the field. Two things about this card. One, you can special summon your opponent's banished monsters, which is nice. Two, this is mainly used to abuse Rescue Rabbit repeatedly, like over and over again, so pretty broke card. Steel Storm Roaches, you know, just because. Utopias, just good beat sticks. Number 16 Ruler of Color, Shock Rule. This is one of the cards I was talking about before that needs 3 level 4 monsters. What it does, once per turn you can detach one XYZ material from this card to declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. Neither player can activate that type of card until your opponent's next turn ends. So it's basically like Cold Wave but on steroids. However, I am kind of curious about something about this card. Not too sure. It says about the monsters, it says neither player can activate that type of card until your opponent's next turn. I'm not sure if that means you can't use monsters' effects, or you can't even use monsters at all. Like, you can't summon monsters or anything. If anybody knows that, like if you're a judge or something, or if you know a judge. I mean, I know a judge, but for some reason I never remember to ask him this. I don't know why. But if you know, then if you could leave it in the comments, that would be a big help. Moving on. Violon de Sigma. Here's our other 3 level 4 monsters to XYZ summon. What it does, you can attach an XYZ material to select one face-up attack monster, attack position effect monster your opponent controls and equip it to this card as an equip card. When this card battles a monster that has the same attribute as a monster equipped to this card by this card's effect, destroy that monster immediately before damage calculation. So say for example, I'm dueling X-Sabers. They're all Earth types. I take his Bonker Knight, and I equip it to this card. Now, anytime I battle an Earth type monster, it'll be automatically destroyed. So it's like a canister, but for that specific attribute, which is pretty nice. I like the card a lot, because if your opponent has a big beat stick and you can't really get around it, use Violent de Sigma's effect, you know, you got it out of the way. So I like that card a lot. 2 Wind Up Zenmeisters, and 2 Leviathan Dragons, just in case, you get the tour guides, but you don't even have Rescue Rabbit yet, so what's the point of bringing out Leviathan? So you just bring out the Leviathan, get the 2500 beat stick out, and then we have the Command Tech. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, I'm always open to suggestions. As I said before, I'm constantly tweaking this deck. This is like the 3rd or 4th version. My first version of the deck was actually kind of crappy, I'll admit that. But this version, I think, is the best version that I've made so far. I did not look at any other deck builds at all to make this deck. I mean, I had friends like, helping me, giving me advice and stuff, but I didn't like go on YouTube or anything and look at other people's builds like at all. This pretty much came basically from my own original build. Somebody might have a similar build, but doesn't mean I looked at it or anything or copied it or anything. Also, I would say I normally don't do deck profiles on Dueling Network. I prefer to, do the deck in real life and then make an actual deck profile. But I made the deck on Dueling Network, or I decided to record the deck on Dueling Network because when the Rescue Rabbit and everything comes out, there's no way I'm gonna afford this deck. I don't have that much money. Tour guides are still, up there. They're not 200 anymore like they were at one point, but they're still pretty expensive. And Rescue Rabbit, if it's a secret rare like everyone's gonna say, yeah, that's gonna be expensive stuff. Yeah. I was thinking about for the extra deck, taking out one of the Steel Swarms, because I don't use the Steel Swarms that much, and replacing it with the what was it called, Gem Knight Pearl or something. It's one of the XYZs that has no effect, but it's a 2600 beat stick. Just kind of thinking about that. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to subscribe. DragonsPwn347 out.